Hi, today let's take notes on graphing linear equations in standard form. Okay, so let's say we're told to graph negative 2x plus y equals 1. Negative 2x plus y equals 1. I don't know my slope and I don't know my y-intercept. So we've only been graphing when they were in slope-intercept form, where I knew the slope and I knew the y-intercept by looking at the equation. So what we're going to want to do is, if we're given an equation in standard form, then we want to convert it to slope-intercept form. So that is going to be our first step. We want to convert. So standard form is ax plus bx equals c to slope-intercept form. Which is y equals mx plus b. How do we do that? We are going to solve for y. So that solving equations unit you did is going to come in handy for this unit. So we need to get y all by itself. So we need to get rid of this negative 2x. So let's add 2x to both sides. Those cancel out, leaving us with y all by itself on the left side equals 2x plus 1. So you cannot combine these. These are not like terms, so that's why we write it separately. So it's 2x plus 1, because the 2 has an x and the 1 does not. Once we do that, we've done plenty of graphing in slope-intercept form, so now we are just going to graph. So on your assignment, you'll be given a graph, but for our notes, we're going to have to sketch our own graph. And so you want to look, we know that our y-intercept is going to be at positive 1, and then we have a positive 2 slope. Here's our x-axis, here's our y. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 1 here, positive 1, 2, 3, 4. And so we know that our y-intercept is now 1, so we go on the y-axis and we plot our first point at 1, and then we know our slope is a positive 2. It's positive, so we know our line looks like this. It's going up. So I'm going to go up 1, 2, and then my rise is 2, which means my run is 1. So I'd go up 2 and to the right 1. And you can draw your slope triangle if you'd like. So our rise was 2, our run was 1. And there's our graph. Okay, let's go ahead and look at your assignment. So graphing linear equations in standard form. So remember, we need to convert to y equals mx plus b. We need to solve for y so that we know what our slope is and we know what our y-intercept is. So we're going to need some space to do this. So we have x plus y equals negative 3. So we're trying to get y all by itself, which means I need to get rid of this x. So I subtract x from both sides, leaving me with y equals negative x minus 3. So if there's just negative x, remember there's a negative 1 in front. And so our slope is negative 1 and our y-intercept is negative 3. So I'll graph my y-intercept first. So I go to the y-axis and I plot my point at negative 3. If you forget how to graph this, you can go back to your notes of how to graph a linear equation. But remember, you graph the y-intercept first, and then our slope is a negative 1. So you can always write your run if you get confused when there's only one number written, and then it's a negative. So if I know it's a negative, I know my line's going down. So when I graph it, if I go down 1, I have to go to the right 1. Down 1, right 1. Or if I go up 1, I would have to go to the left 1 to make sure that my line has a negative slope. Then we just connect those points. And there's our graph. Okay, go ahead and complete your assignment.